The Spring Offensive was a series of 4 German attacks meant to end the war. Starting on May 27, 1918, the Germans attacked along the N front, a sector where the Allies had only left skeletal forces. One attack took place on the N front between the city of Soissons and the city of Reims, pronounced as Reims in English. Considered a quiet sector, the Allies did not expect the Germans to strike. When they did, the Germans took advantage of the Allies at a weak point along the 400-mile front. In the Marne area, in just a few days, the Germans advanced over 35 miles, taking the city of Soissons and then advancing south to the Marne River and the city of Chateau-Thierry. By the end of May, the German advance had created a bulge in the front line. Only 59 miles from Paris, the Germans were closer to France's capital than they had been since September of 1914. If the Allies wanted to save Paris, they had no choice but to send in reserves and inexperienced American troops. The 2nd and 3rd U.S. divisions, under French command, were the first Americans to participate in major combat operations. Their initial goal? To halt the advance to Paris. On May 31, 1918, the 7th Machine Gun Battalion of the 3rd Division was the first American unit to arrive at Chateau-Thierry and reinforce French troops. Chateau-Thierry had strategic importance, as it had 2 bridges crossing the Marne River. Starting the night of May 31st, the French and the American troops tried to stop the German advance, defending Chateau-Thierry in fierce urban combat. Engagements took place in the streets, house to house, turning the city into rubble. To maintain tactical control of the battle, the Germans had even turned the city's clock tower into a machine gun nest. Unable to overcome the German defensive positions in the city, the Allies retreated to the south of the Marne River over the bridges. Early in the morning on June the 1st, the French engineers blew up the Western Bridge, the one in the heart of the city, to prevent the enemy from crossing the Marne River. They did so too early, trapping Allied soldiers, including men from the 7th Machine Gun Battalion and some Senegalese troops in the French colonial army. These men were left stranded on the north side of the river. As they made their way to the eastern bridge, they faced both enemy and friendly fire. Eventually, they did reach the second bridge, and they crossed successfully. Lieutenant John Bissell, who led the men, received a Silver Star for his actions that night. Once Lieutenant Bissell and his men reached safety, the Allies blew up the second railroad bridge as well. In all of this chaos, the 7th Machine Gun Battalion of the 3rd Division stood out, playing a major role in preventing the Germans from crossing the river. The rest of the 3rd Division arrived in the following days and helped to contain the Germans to the north bank of the Marne River in Chateau-Thierry and east of the city. When the 3rd Division commander, General Joseph Dickman, received a concerned request from French command about whether they could hold the sector on July 15th, he replied, "Nous resterons là. We're staying put." To this day, "Nous resterons là" is the American 3rd Division motto. By holding their position, they became the Rock of the Marne. The Germans then turned west of Chateau-Thierry, in the area of Belleau and Lucy-le-Bocage. There, they faced the 2nd U.S. Division, including the 4th Marine Brigade, in the Battle of Belleau Wood. For more on Belleau Wood, watch Episode 3. With the Allies' successes in June, General Ludendorff planned to expand the German attack and prevent more Allied advances. Trying to split the British and French forces along the front, the German attack was scheduled to begin on July 15, 1918. The Allies, however, uncovered the German plan and knew exactly when and where the attack was going to take place. The night before, the Supreme Allied Commander, French General Ferdinand Foch, ordered the artillery to aim where the Germans had gathered to launch their attack. The bombardment caused heavy casualties and created significant confusion. Some German units suffered so much that they had to be replaced before the attack even began. In order to trap the Germans, Foch reorganized the Allied trench formations. His strategy worked, and on July 16th, Ludendorff called off the German offensive. Then, on July 18th, the Allies launched a counteroffensive, the Marne Offensive, also known as the Second Battle of the Marne. After the First Battle of the Marne in the fall of 1914, the Allies dug in, creating the stalemate of trench warfare that characterized much of the war for 3 years. The Second Battle of the Marne was characterized by open warfare and movement. To ensure surprise, the Allies broke with the standard artillery barrage and instead reduced the shelling to a minimum and advanced side by side with the first tanks. The Second Battle of the Marne consisted of several coordinated assaults intended to condense the German bulge created in the spring offensive. To accomplish this goal, the Allies gathered 44 French divisions, supported by 8 American divisions, 4 British divisions, and 2 Italian divisions, along the front between Soissons and Reims, or Reims in English. On the west side of the salient, facing Soissons, General Charles Majan led the 10th French Army, reinforced by the 1st and 2nd U.S. divisions. The general commanded from a tower in the Retz Forest, where he could see the battle unfold. More than 500 tanks supported the infantry. On the southwest side of the salient, facing Belleau and the area west of Chateau-Thierry, the 6th French Army, reinforced by the 4th and 26th U.S. divisions, fought bitterly, making slow progress. The Germans made the Americans pay for every inch of land they took. The 4th Division suffered over 2,000 casualties before being relieved on July 21st. The 26th Division suffered more than 5,000 casualties, pushing the Germans beyond the Bois de Borèche, advancing 10 miles before being relieved on July 24th. By July 20th, General Ludendorff realized the Germans' precarious position. He ordered a phased retreat to the positions that they had held in early 1918. The Marne offensive ended on August the 6th. It was the first Allied victory in 1918. According to General Majan, Chateau-Thierry was the starting point of the victorious offensive that eventually ends the war on November 11th. While the Americans were green, they played several vital roles in the battle. Their role in Soissons, in Belleau Wood, and in Chateau-Thierry marked the first major American combat experiences. Back home, these places became well known, appearing in newspapers and on war propaganda of the era.